ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كل بدعة ضلالة.
But I wanted to say something as an encouragement, Ikhwan, from our Sheikh Muqbil, rahimahullah ta'ala, regarding these journeys, these travels for the sake of da'wah. The Sheikh said that when they used to go out for da'wah, if he said, فَإِذَا قُلْتُ نُرِيدْ رِحْلَةً, we want to go out for a journey, for a travel, and in many instances for giving da'wah. The Sheikh says, تَنَافَسُوا حَفِظُهُمَ اللَّهِ فِي رِفْقَتِي وَالْمُحَافَظَةِ عَلَيَّ. He said the people would vie with one another. They would compete with one another to be the ones to accompany him. They would vie and compete with one another to accompany him and to look after him. And then the Shaykh said, فَرُبَّمَا نَخْرُجْ فِي بَعْدْ رِحَلَاتٍ فِي قَدْرِ 15 سَيَّارَةٍ. He said on some instances we would travel out in 15 different vehicles. 15 different vehicles packed up, yani with brothers. And these are people just wanting to accompany the Shaykh and be with him as he goes on these da'wah journeys, these da'wah trips. And then the Shaykh, he said after this, Ikhwan, rahimahullah ta'ala, وَفِي هَذِهِ الْأَيَامِ الدَّعْوَةِ مَاشِيَةً عَلَى أَحْسَنِ مَا يُرَامِ. And he said, and in these days, the da'wah is progressing in a beautiful manner. Rahimahullah ta'ala. And we say, Ikhwan, hayakum Allah, that the da'wah, by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is progressing in a beautiful fashion. In spite and despite what the enemies of the da'wah salafiyya say, we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to watch the growth and the development of this da'wah salafiyya. In the last conference here at this masjid, Ikhwan Fikum, I was informed of the brothers who have come from so many different places around the United States and outside of the United States and Canada and the likes of this. And even before that, in the summer conference and the winter conference before that, Ikhwan, I am amazed sometimes to hear brothers coming from places, wallahi, 15 years ago, I would have never imagined. I would have never imagined in all of my thoughts that I would meet a Salafi from New Orleans, for example. Or I would meet a Salafi, Ikhwan, from Kentucky. Not in my wildest imagination, Ikhwan, 15, 20 years ago, would I have imagined something of that. And now we are witnessing, Ikhwan, Allah Fikum, the numbers of brothers who are coming to this blessed da'wah salafi, and it's not by compromising. It did not happen by compromising. And the proof of that, Ikhwan, to illustrate that, is for the last 30 years they've been accusing us of being harsh. For the last 30 years they have been accusing us of being extreme. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ikhwan, by His permission has allowed this da'wah salafiyya to continue to grow and to expand and to progress in spite of what they say. In spite of their attacks. And in spite of their rancor and their hatred for Ahlul Sunnah, the da'wah continues to spread. In spite of their slander and their lies and their tale-carrying, the da'wah continues to spread. And as Shaykh Muqbil said, Ikhwan, rahimahullah ta'ala, and this is something, Ikhwan, we thank Allah, Ikhwan, for the fruits of what we see in front of us. And we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all that He has blessed us with. As Shaykh Muqbil said, Ikhwan, that if the enemies of the people of Sunnah were able, if they thought they could get away with it, they would accuse a Salafi caller of committing incest with his mother. If they thought they could get away with it, they would accuse a Salafi caller of committing incest with his mother. The shahid from that, Ikhwan, is that they have not left a stone unturned except that they have attacked the callers to Salafiyah. But by Allah's permission, Ikhwan, it has not harmed the da'wah Salafiyah. It has not harmed the progress, because what these people don't understand is what Ibn Taymiyyah said. And Shaykh Muqbil used to always quote this statement of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah: if Bukhari and Muslim were never brought about, if Bukhari and Muslim never came into existence, Allah will preserve this religion. So what they don't understand, Ikhwan, is that while you may try to attack individuals, you will never be able to bring about the downfall of this da'wah salafiyah. It is preserved by the Lord of the Kaaba. It is preserved, Ikhwan, by the Lord of the Kaaba, this da'wah salafiyah. And therefore, Ikhwan, again, we are happy. And we are glad, Ikhwan, and we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all that we have from this tremendous blessing. And as Shaykh Muqbil used to always say, and we reiterate, Ikhwan, as a reminder, We do not believe that what we have is because we are so knowledgeable. For we know we are juhala. We know we are ignorant. It is not because of some strength that we possess. For we know that we are du'afa. We know that we are weak. But as Shaykh Muqbil said, Ikhwan, هَذَا أَمْرٌ أَرَادُهُ اللَّهُ فَكَانَ. This is a matter that Allah willed, and so He brought it into existence. And that is the affair, Ikhwan, and we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let us hold fast to one another. And let us, Ikhwan, be brothers to one another. And let us love one another for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.